I want to make a first video here about Werner Marx in towards a phenomenological ethics, the ethos in the life world. Marx here is a philosopher in Germany who is, a big part of the Husserl archives, and does a lot of work about Husserl, and does things for phenomenology. But this book here is one of his many books. He has his not many, but a couple about non-metaphysical ethics. Now, when I say metaphysical ethics, I'm talking about Kant does metaphysical ethics. He does the metaphysics of morals, where he talks about moral oughts and duties, and all these things. He talks about his categorical imperatives is metaphysical ethics. Moral absolutes and not lying and not breaking promises, that is metaphysical ethics. Now, what Marx is talking about here in non-metaphysical ethics, he's talking about not worrying about these sort of moral duties and absolutes that we're all supposed to adhere to, but more worrying about disposition and attunement. Disposition and attunement are virtue ethics words, but I guess he's talking about compassion for others, and I guess what we talked about through this whole book is he's talking about the ethos in the life world. He's talking about compassion. Now, ethos is basically character in the world. It's mostly about that. And I guess what I want to think about here is a non-metaphysical ethics possible? Because if we don't have a metaphysical ethics, we're talking about virtue ethics. We're talking about acting because of compassion, recognizing our own mortality, and acting because of that. Now, what do you think? Do you think that it's this is sort of a follow-up on my other video. Do you think that it's possible to have ethics which is not based on worrying about metaphysical duties and absolutes and all that stuff? Can't we just look at each other, engage in Husserl's intersubjectivity, and sort of recognize our mortality in each other, and grow this sort of disposition, what Marx called a transformation, so that we can, live for one another? But I'm gonna talk about Marx more when I talk about phenomenological and intersubjective ethics. But I just wanted to bring that to you, because basically his first chapter in this towards the phenomenological ethics is he's talking about do we need to have a sort of metaphysical ethics which deontology has. And what a phenomenological ethics essentially is sort of engaging in Husserl's intersubjectivity, which I'm going to talk about soon, and basically so that we're looking at each other and looking at others as a mirror, that I look at you and I recognize that I'm like you and all that stuff. But I don't know. I just wanted you to ponder that a little bit. I mean, if you're a whatever sort of ethicist you are, think about just that. So, thank you.